Imagine a land of rugged mountains, ancient warriors, and soaring eagles. A country in Europe that most of the world knows by one name, Albania, but whose people proudly call it something completely different. So why does Albania have two names? Where did the word Albania even come from? And what is the true meaning of Shqipëria? Today, we uncover the full historical journey of Albania's name. We'll travel from ancient tribes and Roman records to medieval maps, Ottoman rule, and the birth of a modern national identity. This isn't just a lesson in linguistics. This is a story of survival, pride, and the very soul of a nation. Long before Albania existed as a country, this land was home to a group of powerful tribes known collectively as the Illyrians. The Illyrians lived across much of the Western Balkans as early as 2000 BCE. They were skilled warriors, formidable traders, and masters of the sea. They were a force to be reckoned with, a collection of clans and kingdoms that dominated the Adriatic coast. Among these many Illyrian tribes was one called the Albanoi. Historical records suggest they lived in the central part of today's Albania, near the modern-day coastal city of Durrës. In their time, there was no Albania as a unified nation. There were only tribes, clans, and territories, often bound together by language, blood, and the land they fought to protect. So how did the name of this one tribe, the Albanoi, come to represent an entire country? The answer lies with the Romans. The name Albanioi first appears in written history through Roman historians and geographers. As the Roman Empire expanded its reach into the Balkans, its chroniclers meticulously recorded the names of the local peoples and places they encountered. One of the most important sources was Ptolemy, a brilliant Greek-Roman scholar, astronomer, and geographer living in the 2nd century. In his famous work, Geographia, he mapped out the known world, and on that map, he mentioned a tribe called the Albanoi and a settlement named Albanopolis. As the Romans documented the region, they did so in their own languages, Latin and Greek. Over time, the name Albanoi was Latinized, becoming Albania. Albanopolis, the city of the Albanoi, eventually faded from the maps, but the name of its people stuck. This is how the outside world first learned the name Albania. It was an exonym, a name given by outsiders. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the Balkan Peninsula entered a long period of chaos and change. The region became a crossroads of empires. Byzantines, Slavs, Bulgars, and later, the Normans from Sicily all marched through Albanian lands. Throughout this turbulent medieval period, European mapmakers and chroniclers continued to use variations of the Roman name. On their maps, you would see labels like Albania, Arbania, or Alvania. These names were external labels, used by foreigners, empires, and travelers to describe this mountainous land on the Adriatic. But while the world was calling them Albanias, something powerful was happening inside the land itself. The people were forging a different identity, a name that came from within. And here's where the story becomes truly fascinating. Albanian people do not call their country Albania. They call it Shqipëria. And they don't call themselves Albanias. They call themselves Shqiptaru. Where did this name come from? The origins of the word Shqip are still debated by historians, but there are two powerful theories. One popular interpretation is that it comes from the Albanian word for eagle, Shqiponju. This would make Shqipëria the land of the eagles. The eagle has been a revered symbol in this region for millennia, representing freedom, strength, and survival against all odds. It's a fitting symbol for a people who have endured centuries of foreign rule and conflict. The other prominent theory suggests the name comes from the word shqipip, meaning to speak clearly or to understand. In this sense, Shqiptaru means those who speak our language, distinguishing themselves from the foreign-speaking outsiders, like the Slavs, Greeks, and Latins who surrounded them. This theory emphasizes language as the core of their identity. Whichever theory is correct, the eagle undeniably became the ultimate national symbol. This is why Albania's flag features a striking black double-headed eagle on a deep red background. This symbol is ancient, far older than the modern nation itself, and it connects the Albanian people directly to their medieval past and their spirit of resistance. That spirit was tested like never before in the 15th century when Albania fell under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. For nearly 500 years, the land was part of a vast foreign empire. During this long period, the name Albania remained in European writings and on international maps. But within the Albanian lands, the local identity was fiercely preserved through language, culture, and tradition. The name Shqipëria lived on in the mountains and villages, spoken in the native tongue. This era produced Albania's greatest national hero, Gjorgj Kastrioti, better known as Skanderbeg. For 25 years, he united the disparate Albanian tribes under the banner of the double-headed eagle, and led a legendary resistance against the overwhelming power of the Ottoman Empire. He became an enduring symbol of Albanian unity and the fight for freedom. Even though full independence was still centuries away, Skanderbeg's legacy ensured that the idea of Shqipëria, the land of the eagles, would never die. It survived in the hearts and minds of the people. Finally, in 1912, after centuries of struggle, Albania declared its independence from the Ottoman Empire. The new nation was officially recognized by the international community under its long-established name, Albania. But domestically, for the people who had fought and died for their freedom, their homeland remained, as it always had been, Shqipëria. This remarkable dual identity continues to this day. Albania is the country's global political name, the one you see on world maps and at the United Nations. But Shqipëria is its cultural soul, the name that speaks of a shared heritage, a unique language, and an unbreakable spirit. It's a rare and beautiful example of a nation living proudly with two names, but one indivisible identity. So the story of Albania's name is more than just a historical footnote. It's a bridge between how the world sees a country and how its people see themselves. From the ancient Albanoi warriors to the Roman scholars who wrote their name down. From the centuries of Ottoman resistance to the proud moment of modern independence, the two names tell a single epic story of resilience. Next time you hear the word Albania, remember the history behind it. But also remember the eagle. And remember its true name, the name that echoes in the mountains and is carried on the wind, Shqipëria, the land of the eagles. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden history of country names, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The world is full of incredible stories, and we believe every name has one worth telling. Thanks for watching.